残酷な天使のように少年よ神話になれ
Neon Genesis Evangelion is a popular anime made in the 1990s. I'm actually happy to tell you that this is my favorite anime series and overall is a televised masterpiece. On Rotten Tomato, a very popular website for film critics, it has a 100% on average on the tomato meter with a 8.30 out of 10 rating from critics, and is rated 89% on average on the popcorn meter, which is a meter for regular viewers. People obviously love this show, but why? I've come down to one reason: because the show relates to its watchers. How? I'll explain why in this video. So, dear viewer, now I implore you to sit back, relax, and enjoy this video on why Neon Genesis Evangelion is a fucking masterpiece. Hideaki Anno, one of the 7 founders of Gainax Studios, wrote and directed the Neon Genesis Evangelion anime. Now, technically, the manga, which was written by Yoshiyuki Sadamoto, began first in December 1994, while the anime began in October 1995. However, Hideaki Anno created the concept and story of Evangelion. While yes, the manga began first, the anime actually finished first in 1996, while the manga finished way later in 2013. This, I think, is mostly because the manga was first created to kind of drum up hype for the show, but I digress. While Evangelion is Hideaki Anno's most notable work, it definitely was not his first or last. Anno worked on his first film in 1988 to 1989, the Gunbuster OVA, and in 1990 to 1991 he directed Nadia, The Secret of Blue Water. And in 2016 he wrote the extremely popular Shin Godzilla, and in 2022 he wrote Shin Ultraman. His most recent work was in 2023, which was Shin Kamen Rider. If you get the gist of what I'm saying, he's a very skilled and important writer. Anno's clinical history of depression was the main source for developing the psychological aspect of Evangelion and its characters. Now, anime is mostly enjoyed by younger people in Japan, and Anno knew this. Anno felt that people from a young age should be exposed to the realities of life as soon as they can. The show did not gain high ratings in Japan when it first came out, but after being moved later to a more adultish venue, it gained considerable popularity. Timing constraints and problems actually forced Anno to replace the planned ending of Evangelion with 2 episodes set in the main character's minds and mentality. In 1997, Gainax did try to re-adapt Evangelion, but that didn't work because of budgeting issues. Eventually, in July 19, 1997, the ending would be released in the movie End of Evangelion, which served as the finale to Neon Genesis Evangelion. Now, as I've mentioned before like 5 seconds ago, the characters and overall story of Evangelion were heavily shaped by Anno's depression. This caused the story to reflect aspects of his mental well-being. Let me actually show you a clip from an interview of Hideaki Anno where a kid asked him if there's any parts he disliked about his anime.
自分が作ったアニメは好きですか？
まあ好きといえば好きですけど、結構嫌いなところもあります。
嫌いなところはどんなところですか？
自分が出てるところ。
I have a genuine question for you, viewer. Have you ever felt loneliness? Think deeply in your heart about this, because the chances are, yes. So have many young people, including me. I struggle with loneliness myself at times as well, but that's besides the point. In an article done by Forbes on July 8, 2023, it reports that 73% of Gen Z report feeling sometimes or always lonely. And in an article done by the Walton Family Foundation on September 8, 2022, 42% of Gen Z suffer from depression, twice as much as people over the age of 25. It's a huge epidemic that's been affecting our youth. Most shows have a hard time depicting loneliness and depression, but then comes Evangelion. The main protagonist of Neon Genesis Evangelion is Shinji Ikari, a 14-year-old boy who suffers from loneliness and depression. When Shinji was 4, his mother Yui died in an accident in NERV, the organization that protects humanity from angels. This left him with his father Gendo, who would then abandon him for the next 10 years. He would live with his teacher, who he thought was nice, but never had a strong relationship with. Then in episode 1, we are introduced to Shinji. After 10 years, his father gives him a message telling him that he is needed in Tokyo 3. Shinji hates his father, but he still goes. He yearns for his father's attention. This is a big part of Shinji's character. He does things like fight the angels just to get some small praise from his father. Shinji does try to run away and leave NERV a few times, running away from his responsibility, running away from his problems. Have you ever heard of the term escapism? Escapism is a mental diversion from unpleasant aspects of daily life, typically through activities involving imagination or entertainment. Escapism also may be used to occupy oneself away from persistent feelings of depression or general sadness, basically trying to escape one's harsh reality. Every time Shinji tries to run away from NERV, he has a change of heart, not because he's running away from NERV, but because he's running away from people he's built a bond with, and he realizes that running away would hurt them emotionally. In this, Anno makes it very clear, never run away, it doesn't fix anything. I now have another question for you, viewer. Do you ever try to escape your problems? Think very hard and deep about this. Things like fantasizing, video games, etc., to escape from reality. If you ever have, which is most likely yes, please do not be ashamed of yourself. Almost everyone does it. I even do it. But there are also very harmful forms of escapism that should be avoided. Alcoholism, drug addiction, porn addiction, things that can heavily affect your mentality on reality and also can very much hurt those around you. Shinji is also a prime example of the hedgehog's dilemma. What is that exactly? Let me explain. The hedgehog's dilemma is tied to loneliness, where one doesn't want to get close to people out of the fear of hurting them and the possibility of hurting themselves. Shinji suffers from the hedgehog's dilemma throughout the show. An example, when Rei self-destructs herself to save him from the angel Armazel. If Rei hadn't become close to Shinji, she wouldn't have died. At least that's what Shinji would think. But Shinji also fails to realize that this wasn't his fault, it was out of his control. In the end of the original Neon Genesis Evangelion series, it takes place in the minds and psychology of main characters. Shinji's mind in these episodes reveal a psychology of depression, loneliness, guilt, abandonment, and escapism. I think the ending of Neon Genesis Evangelion is beautiful. In the end, however, Shinji realizes that there is a meaning to life. People do care about him, and he should care for other people. It would end with friends and family appearing in his imagination, congratulating him for finally defeating depression. As someone who is going through loneliness and someone who feels a connection to Shinji, it gives me a good feeling, a feeling that life will get better, that there is hope in life, and I wish others who watch this would feel the same.
Maybe I could love myself. Maybe my life could have a greater value. That's right. I am no more or less than myself. I am me. I want to be myself. I want to continue existing in this world. My life is worth living here.
Congratulations! Congratulations!
Congratulations.
Congratulations!
Congratulations.
Congratulations!
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations!
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you all.